Hi guys, welcome to another FTI Live Tech Talk, episode 1. I have here Chris Call, and we also got Cole Cooper. And so let's get started, guys.
Yeah, I'm Cole Cooper, as he said. You can follow me on Twitter at CK270, and as people have said in the past, I'm quite a self-promoter, and you can check out my Flickr, flickr.com/photos/CK263. Chris, it's off to you.
I'm Chris. I'm on Twitter at CallChrisNow, and I like to do this. Mostly I'm into technology, random stuff, gaming, computers. I build and install computers and fix them. And all right, let's get going.
All right, so we believe we're going to talk about cell phones, were we not?
We want to talk about the Apple, the iPod situation, or what?
That's you guys.
Yeah, let's start with that. We'll start with that. We'll jump into cell phones.
Alright, yeah. So, I basically think, yeah, I do believe the iPod will be killed off eventually.
Can you start by explaining the question?
Okay, the question is, will Apple ever kill the iPod?
Well, sure they will. And the reason they will eventually...
I got my iPod right here, and it does both things. I can use it as a cell phone and as an iPod. So
yeah, but it's not a true cell phone, is it? Oh, wait, no, that's an actual iPhone. But the iPod itself plays music. It does everything an iPhone can do except make phone calls. It doesn't have that cellular connection.
Just have that
if people have iPhones, if people have smartphones, they really don't need an iPod.
Yeah.
They carry iPhones everywhere they go anywhere. So.
There is VoIP capability though.
Yeah,
there are a lot of people who have Wi-Fi but don't have access to an actual 3G connection.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, and for those people it might be better, but the problem is, like I said, for people that have phones and have that connection, then it's just an extra thing they have to carry around.
There's applications though that allow
I think if you want to get something like that, you want to connect to the internet with and play music with. That's like an iPod. You can get an iPad.
Okay, well, how about this then? How about the whole hook them young mentality, where a lot of parents don't want people to get, don't want their kids to get cell phones until they're older, but they can get something like an iPod. It's going to hook them into that ecosystem, so when they do get to the age where they're going to get a cell phone, what they reach for is that iPhone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you really necessarily need to do that.
Well, why would you say that? What's your argument?
Well, if you're giving kids these things, it kind of goes back to my whole thing where people don't bother to write, read, or anything like that. They read in their things, they play games. They don't talk to people. They just get used to that. And for young kids, they'll probably just end up doing nothing but that. Young kid doesn't do that stuff.
So you're arguing that there's no place for an electronic device like that?
I'm not necessarily saying there's no place for it. I'm just saying it's not necessary.
Well, nothing's necessary. I mean, even smartphones aren't necessary.
No, but I think for a young kid, it's even less necessary.
What, an iPod or a smartphone?
Not smartphones or iPhones. It's like an iPod or something.
Yeah.
Why can't they listen to the radio?
I mean, yeah, they can. That's always an argument, is why can't you do this? But at the same time, if you're the kind of person that would be interested in buying something like that in the first place, you don't care about what you can do. You just know what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just, kids go outside, not playing their, iPod.
Sorry?
And when they get older, honestly, if you have a kid an iPod, a young kid, it's just going to get beaten up because, kids not young really aren't going to have any respect for it. So it's going to get all beaten up.
All the more reason to give them a $200 iPod instead of a $600 iPod.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, $200 isn't cheap either.
But for a lot of people, it is.
Mm-hmm. But $200 could be spent elsewhere too, on something else.
I just think that if somebody's interested in the technology like this, they're going to get it regardless.
Yeah,
and offering them a lower tier
just get phased out.
What's that called?
I said eventually it's just going to get phased out.
What, the iPod or?
The iPod.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a place for it anymore as there once was.
And why is that? Because of the
How many are they selling now?
iPad?
Smartphones, iPhones. Oh, let's take a look.
How many iPods are they selling right now?
I'm trying to look up the stats for 2012. And Apple's quarter 2 2012 iPod Touch sales. Some article from a Cult of Mac. Let's see here. Okay, so in the second quarter of 2012, they sold 7.7 million iPods, and that was apparently a 15% decline from 2011.
Okay, and I was looking at this map here.
And iPod Touch sales amounted for more than half of all iPods sold.
So we got this one here too, if you guys are interested. This is from 2008 up through 2008, which shows the trend change. This shows that up until 2008, I mean, they were selling like crazy. They're falling off now. Then maybe maybe he's right.
Yeah, and smartphones were starting to take over by that point in time, because the iPhone came out in 2007, and other smartphones started to appear in 08. Of course, the iPhone would have been like the third one or something like that, I think. Then 2009, we've seen more Android phones, and that's when smartphones really started taking over at that point in time.
I can see that. Now, do you think the tablet market's going to increase, or do you think the smartphone market's going to increase?
I think both of them will increase, really, because tablets and smartphones both have a place in today's society, it looks like. Now, if you look at the fourth quarter of 2012, I'm looking at a graph here, and it shows different quarters from different years.
Go ahead and throw it up on the screen.
Yeah, because it starts at 2002 and goes up to 2012, fourth quarter, I'll show you. Hopefully it shows up well. Okay, so you can see this, right?
Okay.
Okay,
yep,
so iPod sales quarterly, so obviously they're real low, 2002, 2004. You can see they start going up, and like you were saying, 2008, 2009-ish, they were kind of the highest, I believe. Then it starts dropping off again.
Now you see those spikes. Are those spikes going to be major announcements, things like the iPod video?
Probably. Let's see here.
Look how they look kind of like.
Yeah, it's an interesting graph.
Or is that an annual total? I wonder.
Now it's broken up in the quarters here. You see
Quarterly.
2006, quarter 1, quarter 3, blah, blah, blah. Then 09, 10, 11.
Okay.
Yeah, and see, even on this graph here, it shows the iPad, iPhone, and iPod sales. And
Look at the iPhone, look at that spike.
Yeah, and the iPod is the blue line. So we have all these different spikes, but all these different spikes, even those seem to get lower as years go by. But the iPhone, it has its drop-off points, but it's still going up, and then it dropped again, and it's slowly going up again, it looks like.
Yeah.
And the iPad, well, it's up and down as well.
That's interesting.
What's that top graph? What about that?
This one?
No, the one. Yeah, that one right there. Okay, yeah.
Pyramid of iPod sales in general.
Yeah.
And you can see the growth is slow.
Yeah, it is.
Is that like a? How much is that? Is that in dollar signs on the left?
I think those are like the amount were sold.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say, wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's even more than that if you think about it. So if that's amount sold, each one costs $190.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely.
But I think they may not kill it this year or next year or the year after that, but eventually they will.
Well, I mean, they've got the Mac Pro going still.
Yeah, they will, and I know it's been rumored that that's going to go away eventually too. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen.
I actually expect to see the Mac Pro get upgraded.
Yeah, so do I, and I think it'd be smart for Apple to do it. But eventually, I think, well, the iPod anyways will eventually go away.
I think it's a shame though that most people who are interested in the Mac Pro aren't the kind of person that should be interested in the Mac Pro.
Yeah, there's so many people that buy
for video people, not for people who are just going to be using it as an everyday Mac.
Yeah, and so many people, even with PCs, will buy the highest end computer, the highest end performance parts in it, and never use them.
That's why that's part of the reason I switched over to my laptop, is just because I had all this equipment and I just wasn't using it. Yeah.
I would just beast a computer and then use it to go to Google.
I have an HP ProBook 4430.
Yeah, those ProBooks actually are nice.
Oh yeah, it's a really nice machine. It's all aluminum body, and it's thin. Does everything I need it to do. It's good.
Yeah. But
it's got a Sandy Bridge Core i3. I've got 8 gigs of RAM in there.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Damn, yeah, you're good.
It wasn't bad either. It's a 14-inch screen, and it cost me, I think, $530.
Oh yeah. So you guys, at least Chris, you aren't completely sold on the fact that the iPod may eventually go away?
I know for a fact it will eventually go away.
Mm.
I wonder if it's going to evolve into something different.
It could do that, but I think it's the way it is Right now, it's going to go away. Unless they make changes to it.
But is the iPod that we have now?
Yeah.
Would you consider that as the same as the iPod we got when we first started?
No.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's always been changing. It's been changing to suit the market. I think that's just what we're going to see. We're going to see it continue to change.
If you look at it, probably like the iPhone, sure, it's not the same as the first one. But for the past few years, it's been very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean the iPhone, the iPhone 3, and the iPhone 3GS. I mean the iPhone 3GS, the iPhone 3 were all very much the same.
Yeah. I think Apple makes their changes too slowly. They wait and wait and wait until they absolutely have to.
What would you like to see in the current iPhone then? What would you have liked to see?
I think it'd be cool to see NFC in it for sure, and I think an upgraded interface too in iOS itself, because the interface is kind of getting outdated, I think.
Absolutely. I totally agree on that. Totally agree on that.
Battery life, that's fine. Battery life, they can keep that the way it is. Cameras, those are fine as far as I'm concerned. It works to an extent, but I think also maybe slightly bigger as well. For they're worried about all this competition, yet their competition is 5-inch phones, and they still stuck with their 4-inch phone. Business-wise, they should make changes there too.
I think I don't like that phone.
You're breaking up, man.
I don't even have a phone. It's a tablet.
Yeah, you may not need that phone, but
actually one of the things that sold me on my Windows Phone is because it isn't a 5-inch phone.
yeah, but I'm not saying you in general. I'm saying a lot of people do want these bigger phones, and I think they need to look at that market as well.
And a lot of people don't.
If it's working, a lot of people don't. But if it's working for
the 5-inch phone is too big for people.
Fine, they can have two phones, but
it's too big for people.
And they can have these two different phones instead of just having one, because that way they can sell these phones in two different markets. These people that want.
But does Apple want two phones?
Do they want to make money?
Because if you think about it, right now somebody says they have the iPhone. You think, okay, the iPhone. You don't have to say which one. You don't have to say, how big is the screen or which version.
But you know what? If they can make money, they'll do it. And if they won't, they're stupid.
Right.
So if there's a market for it, they'll eventually do it. Apple said, like Steve Jobs said, there was no market for 7-inch tablets. What did they do a few years later? They came out with their own 7-inch tablet.
And it's on the crap.
Yeah.
But they came out with it. They thought they could do it, and they messed up. There's a lot of things.
A flawed product.
But they did a lot of things wrong with it too. First of all, it's got a terrible screen to begin with compared to the full-sized iPad now. But
What, the 4th generation iPad or the 3rd?
both of them really.
Both.
Yeah, because they both have a Retina display. The iPad Mini doesn't. And there's a lot of people under that do like the iPad Mini. Jason, what do you think of your iPad Mini?
Well, I like it, but I can't compare it to the iPad Retina display because I haven't tried it.
Can you compare it to my Nexus 7?
I
think your Nexus 7 might have slightly better hardware, especially screen-wise.
No.
You got the better hardware.
Here's my thing. The Nexus 7 is going to be obviously going to be the biggest competitor for the iPad Mini. They already couldn't hit that price point. They already missed that $199 price point. The $259 isn't a bad price point, but if they ramped that screen up, it would have been $299, $329. It's going to get higher and higher. You just can't do that. They had to keep it somewhere in that same price point. You're getting the premium Apple experience, and it's not about overpriced when you think about it, because you're buying the whole Apple experience. You're getting the Apple Care. You're getting the people in the Apple store.
They don't buy the Apple Care. It's an extra thing.
I'm not talking. You don't have to buy the Apple Care, but you can still bring it to a genius in an Apple store and have somebody who's already knows about your specific product. I don't have to. If I have an issue with my Nexus 7 and I bring it to a store, I'm talking to somebody who has to say, okay, is this the Nexus 7? Or is this the Samsung tablet, the Lenovo tablet, the Acer tablet, the Asus tablet? You have direct access to somebody who's very familiar with your hardware.
I still think it's overpriced.
Can solve the problem.
It's because they have this experience. I've had a few Apple products now, and I barely go to an Apple store. I barely ever. I've only been
you're a
to
power
Genius
user.
Bar
When
once.
something breaks, you're a power user. When something breaks, you Google it. You figure out why it's broken. Some people don't do that. They bring it to the Genius Bar. Somebody who has an Asus tablet. If you have an Asus tablet, and you're acting up or something like that, what do? You have to call Asus. You have to fight through their phone support. You have to get an RMA ticket. You have to send it in. What if you have an iPad? Oh, you bring it to an Apple store.
Well, maybe
looks at it, fixes the problem, and then you're on your way.
And if that's how they justify their price, then they should and charge for that service instead. That way,
it's not anything. Apple recognizes that the general consumer is somebody who doesn't want to have to think about this. They don't want to have to. They don't want to have to sell you an extra thing and say, you know, you have to pay more for that thing. All they have to do is sell you the tablet. It's all included. Everyone's happy. They don't have to worry about what you're buying if you didn't buy it. If you did buy it,
and if you never use it, you wasted your money.
But it's there.
Sorry, I think it's still overpriced. I'm a little closed-minded in that sense, but I think it's very overpriced. They make okay products, but their prices are just blow me away. Tablet-wise, they're okay in prices.
Oh, you know, tablet, they're phenomenal in prices. You can't even touch their tablet prices.
I'm okay with their prices on their tablets.
I'm okay with the prices on the Mac Mini.
Yeah, Mac Mini's okay too, but I think
I'm okay with the prices on the new Retina iMac.
Well, wasn't it like one of the higher end ones, like $2,000?
The 27-inch Retina display iMac is $1,799. That's a computer that's 2 inches thick.
Yeah, I'm thinking the MacBook Pro that had the Retina display. I think they lowered their prices, but originally like the highest end was like $2,000.
Yeah, but the highest end MacBook Pro is going to give you a 15-inch screen. It's a Retina. It's got a 2.7-inch i5, and it's got a half gig. It's got a 512 gigabyte solid-state drive.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Compare that to a PC with the same specs. Find a PC with the similar specs.
You can't. They don't make PCs with that resolution of a screen.
Okay, well, forget the Retina display then.
Yeah, but now you're taking off. But now you're taking off one of their selling points. You're taking off the quality display that you're buying. The selling point of the computer.
Do you need it?
Most people don't need the Retina display now.
But everyone wants it.
Half these people don't even notice the difference.
Oh, you can. There's a very clear difference.
Yeah, and I've shown many people an iPad, like an iPad 2, and then the 4th generation iPad, and they all go, "Well, there's no difference." And I've shown them.
Are you showing them the Retina applications?
Yeah, I show them everything, Retina, everything. No difference.
What applications are you using when you show them?
Well, I show them the home screen. I show them the icons. Look closely. They don't see the pixels. I show different applications that were designed for the Retina display, and they work fine. And I see the difference myself. And if you look in another place, if you look at that, you know, where now in the top left corner there, it says iPad, right? You can see the pixels on the iPad 2, and on the 4th generation iPad, it's harder to see that.
That's hard in the area to show them the Retina display, though. I mean, show them the application, show them 3D optimized for the Retina display.
3D optimized.
A lot of people will not notice the difference.
I disagree with you. I have firsthand seen people show the difference. Notice the difference.
Well, I've showed some people, and they're like, nope, no difference. Show them two different tablets too, one with a lower resolution. And
no difference. Hold on, give me 1 second. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Cole, do you think watching movies maybe?
Honestly, watching movies on my Motorola Zoom was a nicer experience. The wide screen.
Yeah, that's true. The wide screen.
Yeah, because you know on the iPad it's either you cut off half of the sides, or you have these two black bars at the top.
Black bars.
But on
do you think Apple will bring out a widescreen iPad?
Probably not. No, I don't know. But I'll think about that for a minute here. But on the Motorola Zoom, you have these. If you do have black bars, you have very little black bars.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-year-old tablet.
That's one thing I don't like about it.
And the quality of the screen during a movie really doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't?
No. Sure, it might have a lower pixel density and all that, but honestly, it doesn't bother me.
I don't know. My dad has a really nice TV, and we watch movies, and I say, okay, you know, that looks beautiful. That's wonderful. I don't want to pay for it. I'm perfectly happy watching standard res on my TV.
Yeah. Same here.
The vacuum's up. But yeah, I mean, it's all what you're interested in. If you want that super high res display, you're going to buy the super high res display. That's what you're going to pay for. You're going to pay $3,000 for your computer. If you don't want the super high display, you're not going to buy it. You're going to end up paying closer to $1,100.
Yeah, which is a slightly better price depending on the specs of the computer.
I mean, $1,200 if you're $1,100 if you're a student, and that gets you a 2.5 gigahertz. No, you would get it too as a high school student. You don't have to be a college student.
Oh, yeah?
It gives you a 2.5 gigahertz dual core i5. That'll come with HD 4 graphics. It gives you a 500 gig hard drive, battery built in obviously, and 4 gigs of RAM.
Right.
So that's reasonable.
It's I think in a few years the prices will go down on these Retina display computers, but until then,
You're talking
priced.
bleeding edge right now. The screens that Apple selling right now are the screens that other companies are.
Yeah, you're breaking up again, I've heard that people say that the hardware on these Macs can't necessarily keep up with the Retina display either. I'm not sure if that's true or not. You're still breaking up, but I'm not sure if that's true or not because I've never really used Mac with Retina display for a long enough period to say, hey, you know what, it doesn't work as well as it should.
I wonder.
Display has a problem.
Yeah.
It does. Not always. But if you're talking about something that's completely maximum resolution, then yeah, you can have stuff.
So I think it's going to take a few years before it makes sense to get something like that.
Yeah.
It's meant for, like, right now I think it's more for real professional users, but even then, if it's going to be lower performance, then why get that?
Like I said, it's bleeding edge. They're selling something that other companies are still developing.
Yeah.
They're trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Which is something Apple doesn't always do, but at least they're trying. I'll give them that. Good job of trying.
Oh, yeah.
But it still needs a bit of tweaking.
Well, the biggest thing about this is that now when another company comes out and says, oh, we have a super high-res screen, everybody's going to say, yeah, but Apple did that 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're going after. That's the market. That's the impression they're trying to make right now.
Yeah.
All right, what's next on the topic, sir?
So let's see what's in the news.
I wonder what will happen, like if 4K, like people expect 4K to come to like the tablets and phones and stuff.
That's just nuts, and that would be way
Yeah.
overpriced.
I mean,
if these
eventually
TVs,
it has to. It has to, you know, come to the tablets.
because
and
you
phones
know,
eventually.
if a 4K TV, it would cost like what, 20 grand and more than that.
Does it need to come to the tablet? Because you're not going to see that difference.
No,
Yeah.
you really wouldn't. And how much would it? How many thousands of dollars would it cost?
All right.
Especially with a company
here's-
like
here's a
Apple,
topic we
we
can
double
talk
the price.
Seagate's world's first 4 terabyte hard drive. The bare drive is $190. Would you buy a 4 terabyte hard drive? And
I would, but not from Seagate.
You wouldn't, or you would?
I don't know. It's not surprising that Seagate's the first one to roll this out because the only people out right now that have a drive bigger than 2 terabytes is Hitachi, which is a subsidiary of Seagate. So Hitachi's been selling a 3 terabyte drive for a little while now for about $259. So that's why I was pretty shocked when Seagate said they're selling a 4 terabyte for under $200. That's a good deal. That's a really good deal.
No,
I don't quite trust Seagate, but that's a good deal.
why not though? Because I have a Seagate external drive. It's a 500 gigabyte drive, and I haven't had any issues with it. So like, what do you have against them?
How much did you pay for that? How much did you pay for that,
Yeah.
Cole?
Oh, how much I get? Oh, I don't remember actually.
Yeah. Let's
After spending 2.5 years working in a computer repair shop,
You're breaking up bad.
Damn, dude. I wish I could hear the audio. The stupid freaking.
Yeah, I really want to hear this because this is interesting.
I know the Google Hangout.
All right, can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, great.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
there you go.
After working 2.5 years in a computer repair shop, the only drive that we consistently see fail are Seagates, which is interesting because I would have thought it was Hitachi, but it's not. It's always Seagates that fail, and when they fail, it's catastrophic. It's not just worn motor or bad bearing. I mean, it's bad.
It's done, finished.
It done. I'm talking $1,000 data recovery because it has to be done in a clean room platter recovery. I mean, we definitely see a higher volume of Western Digitals fail. But that's because there's more of them out there.
Yeah.
I'd say
myself.
yeah, and I
have
have
a 15-year-old one back there.
I have a Western Digital in my actually my laptop right here. It's a Western Digital Caviar Black,
Oh, yeah.
and it runs good. And now I'm not saying I wouldn't buy a Seagate.
Yeah.
But I know what I'm looking for. I know what to look for in a failing drive, whereas a lot of people don't. So I'd worry that somebody who's going to put 4 terabytes worth of home movies and photos and things like that on
Man, family moments that they'll never be able to.
Yeah, exactly. At least buy 2. At $190, buy 2. Buy 2 and set them up as a backups.
So here it is. It's an old one.
Oh, you guys want to see something old?
This one, how much? It has 1.2 gigabytes storage on it, and let's see here. Yeah, it's a Western Digital Caviar or something, right? made in Singapore. It's from, what is it from? Should be a year on it somewhere, I think. Don't remember now. Either way, it's old. Oh yeah, this thing was made in 1997.
I'm gonna leave video off for the rest of the chat just to make sure.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, it was made in March of '97, so it's an old drive.
You guys ever have a Pentium 2?
I had a Pentium 3 and I had a Pentium 2 on one of my old machines.
I might have. I don't know. I might have.
Well, Cole, a Pentium 2 is a bit out of your age range there.
I had a real old computer once. An old one.
And my first computer I had was an HP Pavilion. And my dad maxed out the RAM at 256 kilobits. Megabits, sorry, 256 megabytes of RAM. It had a Pentium 3, I think. I want to say a Pentium 3. It had a 12 gigabyte hard drive. Ball mouse that I had to clean out because it kept getting dirty. It had a keyboard. We put in a CD burner. CD burner, not a DVD burner. Put in a CD burner.
Yeah.
We actually had to put in an Ethernet card because it didn't come with one.
Yeah, I had an old computer that may have had one of those processors in it. It was an ancient computer.
Look at all these computers out there.
It was actually a refurbished computer out of a school. It was like from out of the 70s or something like that.
I tried to do that. My school actually had a program where if you spent $100, you could take this class where you put a computer together and then you got to keep it.
Oh yeah, this computer was out of the 70s or something, and it was refurbished.
Not the 70s.
No, it was 70s, 80s. It was old.
70s, 80s. Wow. I mean, you're talking I mean.
Oh, I'm not joking. It was old.
70s and 80s. You're talking. I mean, you're talking pre-Windows.
Oh, I know. I know.
You're talking monochromatic screens and dot matrix printers.
Like I said, it was totally redone when I got it.
It would have been practically useless. I mean, 5.5-inch floppies.
They redid it all.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you wouldn't even be able to redo it. There's nothing to redo.
They kind of pulled it off. Like, it still had a lot of older hardware in it that was kind of useless at that point in time. And it wasn't a computer that was used that much. They couldn't even connect to the internet.
Yeah, that was pre-internet. Jason, what about you? What was your first machine?
My first machine was I think it was a Gateway Windows 95. That was my first ever computer.
Oh yeah.
Yep, and I don't even know what the hardware was, to tell you the truth. I think
that computer was indestructible too.
Yeah, it was a big old freaking beast. What's that?
Which one was it that was indestructible?
Oh, I was talking about my computer.
What, the beast?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But now I've got my ProBook. I had a Dell XPS 630i that I got in 2007.
Yeah, it was a nice computer. You could have taken a baseball bat to it. I'm sure it would have worked just fine afterwards.
So that's the question. Do you guys think that computers have become like too delicate, basically?
Well, I don't know. This computer, you could probably take a baseball bat to.
We pay all this money. We pay all this money for these computers and laptops and stuff, and now it's like we can't beat them up any.
But if you take a baseball bat to your iMac back there, tell me what would happen.
Crack it down. Crack the whole freaking panel.
You got that? Yeah, the screen's built into it as well.
So yeah, you basically
issue.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't think they're too brittle. I think if you spend $1,000 on a computer in 2002, you got $1,000 worth of computer. If you spend $1,000 worth of computer now, you get $1,000 worth of computer. But the difference is now you can spend $300 on a computer, and you can get a functional computer for $300.
Oh yeah.
It's just made of bubblegum and tape.
Yeah, but it works.
It works.
It works kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Like,
people always get upset with us when they break their computer, and they come to us and they want to get it fixed, and I say, okay, well, it's going to cost $220. They say, well, I only paid $200 for the computer.
Yeah.
Or did you get what you pay for?
Yeah.
But the reason I bought the ProBook is because it's a business grade computer.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been inside it. I've upgraded it and I've cleaned it, and it's a well-built machine. There's no extra room. jam it. There's no extra room. There's no room for things to shake around and break.
I can
Nothing's
say something
taped.
right now.
Everything's screwed. It's a good computer.
Yeah. My school actually has a whole ton of them.
The ProBooks?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wonderful machines. I'd
Brand
recommend
new ones.
And I don't like HP in general. I would totally recommend a ProBook to anybody who is interested in one.
Yeah.
I've had great luck with this machine.
Mm-hmm. And even the iPad itself, if you go back to something like that, it does seem to be fairly durable, especially that aluminum back on it.
Oh yeah, when you
Doesn't
start
have
using
Gorilla Glass now?
Yeah, they put that in there too. Like obviously, glass is going to break if you do certain things to it. Glass is glass in the end, but still pretty durable.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, I dropped my phone quite a few times without its outer casing or whatever. And it's good up to it.
And the iPhone 5 finally went back to the aluminum.
Aluminum is a wonderful, wonderful material.
Yeah, it's light too.
Alrighty, 40th birthday of cell phone, right? You post that, Chris?
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, I dropped. I have a canister of mixed nuts, and I dropped them. That's right. That's right.
I'm actually eating peanuts right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are Emerald glazed
I got
nuts.
my sriracha chips over here, so I'm all good.
Yeah, so I was actually just cleaning those up. All right, so what you saying, dude?
The 40th birthday cell phone.
Yes, sir. What about it?
Well, what cell phone is that? Is that the first 40th birthday of cell phone completely?
The 40th birthday of the cell phone. Yeah.
Yeah, the first cell phone.
The cell phone itself is a technology.
Was from Motorola.
Was from Motorola, and it was probably those big box type deals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the older stuff.
I wonder
Yeah,
what.
you sure don't
hardware
hear much
they had.
about Motorola anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Motorola either.
Man, like they came up with the Zoom, and then they came up with the second one, and then that was kind of it.
They tried.
Google bought
they tried the tablet and couldn't do it.
Then Google bought Motorola Mobility, and then I was kind of into hearing stuff about that too. But yeah, today is the 40th birthday of the phone. So
That's crazy.
what do you guys think of that?
Wonder what the hardware was in that.
Actually, I can tell you because I had this page I had open said so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, check that out. Let me.
Okay, so apparently, blah blah blah. Okay, it measured 25 centimeters long and had a 20-minute battery life. It took 10 hours to recharge. And on April, and this is directly from the article, I'm just reading it off. On April 3rd, 1973, Motorola engineer Martin Cooper made the first cell phone call in New York. On the receiving end of the call was the head of a rival communications company. Then it would be another 10 years before the cell phone was made available to U.S. customers at a price tag of $3,995 US.
Wow. I bet it had those big antennas, right?
Probably, yeah.
Holy cow, $3,000 something dollars?
Yeah, and that's.
And we're complaining
Remember,
about
that's your the prices in 1970 in the actually 80s. Sorry.
Hey, are you talking, Chris? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a question for Cole.
Yeah.
What's the first cell phone you had?
Oh, I don't remember what model it was, but some Samsung phone.
And what did it do?
Wow.
Well, it made phone calls.
Exactly, that's my point. What about you, Jason? What was your first phone?
A Nextel. I can't remember. Yeah, it was a Motorola Nextel, I think.
Yeah, I got that through Rogers.
And what did that phone do for you, Jason?
The same thing, made calls, and it had like that little walkie-talkie feature where you could like beep someone and like just like not make a phone call basically, but you could just beep them.
Oh yeah. Now listen to this.
Like a little walkie-talkie.
Apparently today, out of there's 7 billion people in the world that they say. Apparently the UN says that 6 billion have access to a mobile phone.
What was your first phone there, Chris?
I had a Samsung A670, I think it was called. It was just a flip phone, no camera.
The number and everything, huh?
6 billion out of 7 billion is a huge amount of people that have access to a phone.
Oh hell yeah!
That's most of the world.
I mean, hell, my girlfriend's in a third world country, and she calls me every week.
Yeah. So basically, I think the only people that really don't, just certain people that don't have access to these phones, but very little now. Either people that really, really can't afford it, or people that are living in the jungle.
Yeah. Living on Easter Island or something.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they have cell phone service there too. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably do.
They have tourists that go there every year. Why not?
Yeah, that's true. Alrighty, are we ready for the next topics or what? What's up?
Like, think of how far the phone's come in 40 years.
Oh, a long ways. We went from
Yeah, dude.
simple phone calls to I can send you an email, text message, phone call. Obviously, I can browse the web. I can do anything I want. I can take pictures with my phone. My phone can be a video camera if I want it to be.
Yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff.
I can do
The
just
last
about
4
anything I
years,
want
all my
to.
dad did was put on weight.
That's fun.
Wonderful devices now. Wonderful devices.
Oh yeah, they're amazing what they can do.
I
And it's
kind of left the scene back in the Nextel Motorola's and all that was. I left that scene,
And
I kind of got sick over the years, and then I basically kind of missed the iPhone and the whole MP3, iPod, all that stuff. I kind of missed all that. And
Yeah,
so when
and-
I came back, when I was able to get gadgets and devices and stuff, I was like, holy cow, this is amazing, all the stuff that we could do, because I kind of missed that period of jumping into the iDevices and the smartphones. I missed all that. So when I came back, I was like, wow, this is amazing.
in the iPhone,
Now, what was
not
it-
the iPhone really.
what was it that
all
disconnected you?
smartphones. Hang on.
What's that?
What was it that disconnected you?
Oh, I got sick and had to, I was
his
kind
illness.
of disconnected from the world, and I was, in my bedroom basically for like 2 or 3 years, not going out and doing stuff. So yeah, that was
Really?
it. Yeah, and then I came back and I was just like, holy cow, this is amazing, all this stuff.
Mhm.
So I kind of missed 2007, 2008, and 2009,
Yeah.
and then I finally came back in 2009 at the end of the year, and I was like, holy cow.
Well, at least you're still
iPhone-
kicking around.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
But yeah, the smartphones have really allowed us to document our world as well.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah,
if you look
definitely.
at these big major events now, you can see tweets about them almost immediately. You can see YouTube videos about them very, very quickly. After they happen or even while they're happening. News stories, photos, everything.
No, what
That's
live
what I
streaming?
love about it. Like,
In
I can be-
Vancouver, when they had those big riots with the Olympics in 2010, there was videos and the tweets and all that going out, and the police actually looked at that to see if they could track these people down and charge some of them.
It's amazing. I mean, live streaming stuff. I mean, things that are happening in the world now.
Yeah.
We can watch them instantly.
Yep, from around the world, dude. From around the world. Be sitting at home and watch stuff from Berlin, China, Japan.
U.S.
Like, dang. Live, too.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. I got a question
We're
for
very
you
connected.
two. How smart will smartphones get, in your opinion only?
What do you mean
Like-
by that, though? Because a smartphone's really only the smartest person using it.
Like, will they be able to do, like, the Transformers, like that little cell phone and Transformers, like, eventually get up and walk around and do all that? Or do you
I
think
really
they're
hope
just
not, because I don't want my phone jumping out of my pocket.
Think of it that way. It's like, oh, you didn't drop your phone jumped out.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, exactly.
But do
That could be an issue.
you think it'll always be this? Do you think it'll always be this little rectangle or square device?
No, of course
It
not.
won't be anything different.
It'll always change. Because, like Chris was saying, look how much smartphones changed in the past 40 years.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Well,
forward
that
to
smartphone is smaller.
I'm looking forward to when the candy bar is no longer the format.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see what's new.
Yeah.
Make it a circle. Why not?
The Paraphone. You guys remember that from iCarly or whatever it was?
The Paraphone?
Yeah, they used a phone that they called the Paraphone.
Oh, yeah.
From who? From iCarly?
Yeah, it was on iCarly in those shows.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the Nickelodeon shows used it.
iCarly.
I never actually watched those shows.
I kind of fell out of those shows like Disney and all that back when Sweet Life of Zach and Cody or something.
I fell out
when
of
they
them
first
very,
started.
very quickly.
When they first started, that's when I stopped watching, was basically then. I used to love watching Rocket Power on Nickelodeon.
Oh yeah, great show.
That was one of my favorites right there.
Never watched any of that stuff.
Really?
Hey, I'm the kid that watches CNN.
Wow. Yeah, and crime scene investigators and all that weird. Find out how to bury somebody. And...
Oh,
Oh,
Code-
yeah,
code those
we
things
need
we
to
don't
get
want
some
them to know.
topics here. we're getting off topic.
Yeah, definitely. It makes it interesting for the viewer. We got one viewer apparently.
Oh, we do? Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
it's
that's
probably
what.
Bryce. Hey, Bryce, get your butt in here now and spice up this tech talk.
Yeah, might as well tweet this out here.
You haven't tweeted it out yet? What?
What topic do you want to move into?
You're slacking there, ain't you? The Windows Blue.
That's like the next version of Windows, right?
Yeah.
I think the one thing they should do is they should make Metro optional.
Isn't it optional now? It's not optional now?
No, it's mandatory. You must use Metro if you're on Windows 8. No
Metro is the new start menu. No, I want to argue that. I want to argue that because Metro, disabling Metro or making Metro optional assumes that Metro is the actual user interface, and it's not. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Metro, if you want to use the desktop, Metro is nothing more than a start menu. And how much time do you spend on the start menu?
Not very often, but...
Exactly. So why does it matter if it's a little different?
It's just...
I bet Bryce will jump in here.
I use it a lot when I'm searching for a program. And I find it a big way...
Yeah, exactly. And it's phenomenal when you're searching for a program.
Well, I actually find Metro to be very annoying when I'm searching for a program. I like the
How are you searching for a program? Metro. The whole goal of Metro is to urge people into using the menu shortcuts and the hotkey shortcuts. Yeah, the ones that were there to begin with. And the ones that people have been encouraged to use to begin with.
In the search shortcut, well, I never use it. I always like the search bar in the start menu, like you see in Windows 7.
Yeah, but you don't need that anymore. All you have to do is press the button, get into the search bar, and then just start typing. You don't need to click it.
And for the longest time, I've had Windows 8 for the longest time, and I still do not remember the shortcut for it.
There is no shortcut. All you have to do is open the start menu and start typing.
Well, I'll show you Metro. In Metro, if you open up Metro, you have to get into the charms bar first.
No, you don't. You just have to hit the Windows key on your keyboard.
Yeah, and then I start typing. Oh, I guess you do. Never tried that before.
There you go. The search bar is there.
I still like the older one better. And maybe it's just I don't like change.
You're just used to the older one better.
Yeah, like I said, maybe I don't like change in that sense.
Well, people need to accept change.
And the icons in the Metro are always changing. My email icon, that's always changing. It's in the same place, but it looks different every time. News, I can't even find that. I know it's here somewhere, but I don't.
If you don't, but that's the thing. If you don't like that interface, you don't have to use that interface.
Well, by default, you kind of do.
No, you don't. All it is a start menu.
And where do you go when you boot into an OS? When you
to the start menu.
Log into Windows 8, where do you go?
It brings you to the start menu. You click on desktop and you go about your business.
But what if you need to do something on that start menu? And when you shut down Windows, that's even a bigger mess because you have to bring up the charms bar and press settings or whatever. Then press power off. It's easier just to press Control Delete and shut it down. I can't do that now.
I can't wait to try Windows 8.
It's easier to press Alt F4 to turn.
Sorry, I missed what Jason was saying back there. What did you say?
I said I can't wait to try Windows 8. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, it is.
I love it. It's phenomenal.
Oh, I like the performance, but I think some of the changes they made were very stupid.
Very stupid.
It's about even turning it off. It's a charms menu on a desktop with just a mouse or whatever. It's the biggest pain to even pull up. Like maybe on a touchscreen, just swiping. Yeah, sure, it'd come up easy. But I find it just real annoying.
I got a question. Do you have to worry about security and virus scans and all that?
No, Microsoft Security Essentials is rebranded as Microsoft Defender.
Yeah,
and it's included in Windows 8.
Yeah, it just comes with Windows. I don't use it personally, but it is pretty good.
Do you think Windows 8 is more vulnerable to attacks, hackers, and stuff?
It can be just as vulnerable as Windows 7 was.
Yeah.
But some of the changes they made in Windows 8 is stupid. Like I said, the Metro, it makes sense for a tablet. For me, on my desktop, it doesn't.
So if Windows 8.1 or Windows Blue comes out, you think they should change that?
I think it should be more optional, because right now you still have to use it.
I disagree again, because I think, right now Windows is trying to push people to create touchscreen devices. They're trying to push people into tablets. They're trying to push, and if they give you the option, like you, Cole, people hate change, and nobody's going to make that decision on their own.
For me, I got this laptop, and if I touch my screen, about all I'm going to do is I'm going to get fingerprints all over it. It's not going to do anything, so I'm going to have to go out and get.
Do you have a touchscreen?
To get that touchscreen.
Do you have a touchscreen?
No, this computer's 2 years old. It never came with
a touchscreen. Okay, and a touchscreen comes with an older graphic coding. It'll be no worse than your iPad.
But I think it's just for a desktop, I really don't think it's necessary just yet. Like, sure, they want to push it, fine, good idea, but for someone that already has a computer that already works well for them, you need a touchscreen. It's a big waste of money and waste of time.
Well, yeah, they're not trying to get people to buy touchscreens. They're trying to get developers.
But they're kind of forcing you into it, too. You know,
they're not forcing you into anything. No. It works fine without
because
one.
Metro is always there in the end.
Metro isn't
in the end, you'll have to always go back to it.
You don't need to use Metro on a daily basis. It's nothing more than a start menu. If you're
eventually, you have to go back to it. Eventually.
Yeah, for the same things you would have to go to the start menu for. And the start menu is no better at the things that Metro is.
I found things to be quicker with the start menu.
Yeah, but you didn't know you could search by typing. I just taught you that now.
Yeah, but you know what? Even then, the interface is still nicer in the start menu. I like it better.
A wall of text is not attractive to me.
I like the wall of text. I'm sorry. I type in what I want, hit enter, done. Like, sure, it's nicely organized in the different categories, and sure, that works fine, but no. I'm all for the start menu.
I hate the start menu. In fact, actually, before Windows 8 even came out, I was using the start menu as minimalistic as possible, and I was never doing anything that I couldn't do from the search bar in the start menu, like you were just talking about. If I couldn't access it from in that search bar, I didn't do it.
I still like the start menu. I might seem weird that way, but I just like it better. And that's why I installed one of those programs that actually adds it back into Windows.
I fiddled with a lot of one of those programs. They work okay.
Yeah, I got Classic Shell or something like that.
Yep, I used that one. It works alright. It's not for me, but it works alright.
It's not exactly like the old Windows 7 one, but it's close enough.
That's a good one. Now, what are you using, Jason? What do you run?
What's that?
What do you run?
Windows XP.
XP?
Yep.
Yeah, amazing.
What?
Yep, Windows XP.
What?
Well, if you install Windows 8 on that machine, Jason, touch that screen. Tell me that's gonna work for you.
I gotta get 2 more gigs of RAM, or maybe no, I gotta get 2 more gigs of RAM, and then I can upgrade.
The minimum for Windows 8 is 2 gigs of RAM.
And I actually have that now. But will it run like decent? Will it run okay?
Windows 8. I mean, this is the biggest thing about Windows 8 is it's built from the ground up. It's not Windows 7, which was built off of Vista, which was built slightly off of XP, kind of in a way.
Performance-wise, Windows 8 is a lot better. I'll give it that.
Performance is Windows. So, switching to XP to Windows 8, you think that'll be a big step, like a big difference?
I think you'll see a performance boost, but you're gonna have to get used to it because you're not even gonna be used to the Windows 7 changes.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a big jump.
Which you know, from this point, people look at it and they think, oh, you know, that wasn't that different, but it really is. I mean, if you're not used to it at all, it can be a shock.
Yeah. But still, Microsoft is still, I think, pushing the whole Metro thing on people.
They have to though, otherwise nobody's going to change it.
In the Windows Store, you can't download any desktop apps for it. I don't believe. It's all Metro.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. If you don't want to use Metro, you don't have to. You don't have to use those Metro apps. None of those Metro apps are automatic, and you can still access all your old desktop apps. All you have to do when you turn your computer on is hit the Windows button. It'll bring you right to your desktop, and you can go about your way.
I still think it's an annoyance. I think they should have kept both the start menu and the Metro. Metro makes
nobody would have ever used
Metro. Metro makes a lot more sense on a tablet.
Yeah, but you know how confusing it's going to be if you give 4 different operating systems to people? RT sucks.
Well, gee, Apple has Mac OS, OS X for their desktop computers, and they have iOS. Hearing everyone complaining about that.
They have iOS and they have OS X, but then they also have a different version for servers.
OSs, though, aren't they?
They have a different version for servers.
But they are different 2 OSs, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. But people aren't still using OS 9.
No, but they're still different from iOS, and they're different from OS 10.
Oh yes, exactly. But they're not using OS 9. Microsoft has to deal with people who are using XP, people who are using Windows Vista, people who are using Windows 7. So no, that's more. That's a lot more. That's more than just having to do with OS X and iOS.
Yeah, but those are older OSs, because if you're thinking about that way, then Apple should be worrying about those older OSs.
No, because Apple was forward thinking with this. When Apple started the OS X launch in the early 2000s, I mean with Tiger, they built a system that was going to be upgraded but not changed. If you use a Tiger machine and then you jump on Mountain Lion, it feels the same. It works the same. It has new features.
There's some
UI
changes, but yeah, same idea.
Barely, but it feels the same and it works the same.
Yeah, same idea. But yeah, I'm sorry. I think the Metro should have been more optional on a desktop machine. On a tablet, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Metro makes a lot more sense there because it has that touchscreen.
But that, like I said, Microsoft is trying to encourage manufacturers to include a touchscreen.
And for a user that already has a computer with on a touchscreen, touching my screen is the only thing it's going to do is.
Well, you can't touch your screen if you don't have a touchscreen. But if people don't build,
I guarantee you, I can.
But
touch
if people don't build machines that have touchscreens, nobody's going to buy a machine that has a touchscreen.
And do they need them on a desktop? On a
tablet?
tablet?
Do you need anything? Cole, do you need the iPhone in your pocket? You don't need anything. These are all luxuries.
Make phone calls.
Yes, but do you need it to be an iPhone? No, you could get by perfectly fine with a normal dumb phone.
Sure.
You're paying for a luxury.
But I think
these are all luxuries. None of this stuff
far.
is needed. None of these are necessities. These are all luxuries.
Especially for users with slightly older machines.
What about users with slightly older machines?
They don't have touchscreens.
No, of course they don't. That's why you don't need one to use it.
To an extent, you kind of do. There's a lot of elements in Windows 8 that do require it.
Nothing. Not well,
you can use it with a keyboard and mouse. You can use it. Can you use it well? No, not really.
That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is watch the words you use. Nothing, not one thing in Windows 8 requires a touchscreen.
But can you use it well with your mouse?
I can.
But you can do it a hell of a lot better with the touchscreen, couldn't you?
Could I? I don't know. That I really don't know. I fiddled with a Surface in Staples for a little while, but then a guy tried to sell it to me and he got really annoying, so I left.
I hate those people.
I went in to buy a actually there's a little story there. I went in to buy a Nexus 7, and when I was in there, he was asking what had me interested in my Nexus 7, and I explained to him that I had a 10-inch tablet, but I didn't want a tablet that big.
Yeah.
And I said, I had a 10-inch tablet, didn't want a tablet that big because I found myself trying to use it for things that I didn't want to use it for. Things that I could use my laptop for and be perfectly fine. So, you know what he does? He says, well, have you looked at the Nexus 10?
Idiot.
No, I haven't, because I don't want a 10-inch tablet, you idiot. Did you hear what I just said?
Exactly. Yeah, it's just more.
Alright, the next topic, iPhone 5.
It comes down to poor training.
Exactly.
And just downright morons, too.
My God, what were you saying? Oh, guys, just a heads up, the iPad mini right now is only $300 at Walmart.
But
$300?
But I'm going to try to sell him one anyways, although I already know he does not want one whatsoever, but I'm going to sell it to him.
Yeah, I specifically was like, I'm interested in the 7-inch tablet because I don't want a 10-inch tablet. Oh, have you considered the 10-inch tablet?
Yeah. It's like going to a dealership and saying, yeah, I'm looking at a car. Okay, come over here to our big diesel trucks.
Exactly. No, I'm all set. Thank you. Thank you for your time, but I'm going to go buy it from somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. You're from dealership.
All right, what were we saying, Jason? Jump in, man. You got to speak up. You got to yell at us and tell us to stop harassing each other.
The iPhone 5S. I figured we'll jump into another topic before we end it.
The iPhone 5S probably isn't going to have very many changes.
Yeah, no, definitely not. It's going to be
the 6th iPhone probably, but 5S no.
No, there are rumors that iOS 7 is going to be delayed.
Really?
There are rumors that iOS 7 is going to be delayed.
Well, maybe if they finally get aboard making those big changes, then yeah, fine, delayed a little while.
Well, the big thing, I guess, from what the rumors were saying, the biggest thing about the biggest thing about the new iPhone that was going to be different was going to be iOS 7. And the rumor is now that that's going to be delayed. So I wonder where that puts them for the new iPhone launch.
Well, yeah, if the iPhone 5S is supposed to have these good features with iOS 7, the iPhone itself will be delayed.
I
don't know. The rumor was also saying that hardware is actually on schedule and set to be released as scheduled. So that's one that had me curious.
Yeah, definitely.
So Cole, what do you want the iPhone 5S to bring? Like, what do you want it to have?
Well, obviously it should have NFC, and I think it should have at least these two things. At least NFC, obviously, and an upgraded UI, because it is getting outdated as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Now, Cole, you have an iPhone right now, right?
Yeah.
Which one?
4S.
4S. What about you, Jason? What do you have?
It's the same 4S.
4S. Okay.
Yep.
All right. I almost bought an iPhone 5. And,
like, I'll admit that it works, but it could be better.
What about it? What about it? Do you want it to be better?
Like I said, I'm just the UI is boring now, and NFC could be a interesting feature for a lot of people, especially in the future when it really starts to roll out.
Oh, absolutely, because it's gonna be a big thing.
I think we all admit that it's eventually gonna roll out big.
Yeah.
NFC is pretty cool. I think if Apple introduced NFC, it's gonna make NFC be taken more seriously by retailers.
Yeah, it's gonna be even more.
You can start seeing it at your grocery store.
I already have it in my grocery store actually. My MasterCard PayPass is actually pretty big in the East Coast.
Oh yeah, they have PayPass that PayPass at every store.
Those are all NFC. Those are all compatible.
Oh really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, anyone that has PayPal, anything that has PayPal or anything that has an NFC terminal, you can use your anything that has a PayPass terminal or any of those NFC terminals. They're all NFC.
Oh,
so
right.
anything that you have right now will work with it.
Yeah, tons of all the big stores here have those.
Yeah, I could use my Nexus 7 with it, but I don't carry that around in the stores with me.
Yeah, I can only imagine the look on the cashier's face when if they ever see you pulling those out.
I'm gonna pull my tablet out and pay you now.
Yeah.
I actually brought my iPad mini into a store.
Yeah, but you're not trying to
bring it as a payment option.
Oh no, no.
Did you try to give it to him? Yeah, can you swipe this?
There you go.
I've done that before on my phone though for like a rewards card. He had to scan my rewards card, and I handed him my phone, and he was like, "What?"
Yeah. Well, apparently you can even have like bus passes on your phone now too. You can only imagine like some bus drivers' look on their face if they've seen someone hold up a phone.
Hey, you get that that message from Tommy?
No.
Yeah.
What's he saying?
Want to know if he could join?
Up to you, and Chris.
It's a little late now, ain't it?
Yeah.
Up to you guys. We can make it short, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. You think we could have him come in and then we can end it like 5 minutes after he joins?
Yeah, I mean,
it could be like
if you guys want to squeeze in another topic or two, that's fine with me.
Yeah, we can go a little while longer. I'm okay.
You got any topics then, Cole?
Let's find something. Go ahead
I
and pull
ran
him in.
out of topics, guys.
Yeah, let's do that.
Go ahead and pull him in. I'll find you a topic.
Yeah. We doing anything like after hours or anything like that with us?
It's up to you guys if you want to, yeah. Like I said, I have to leave here, and I gotta leave the hangout around 11:15.
Alright. Yeah, I can't hang around too long either. I actually want to get in bed at a reasonable hour.
Yeah, same here. I gotta get some crap done. I got some math I gotta get done.
Right, so go ahead and pull him in. We'll cover another topic or two, and then we'll go on.
Right. So I'll invite him in.
Oh, we were speaking about the NFC, right?
Yeah.
Well, the KFC launches Fast Track mobile ordering app for iPhone in UK.
Well, but all I can say to that is
the NFC.
It's a cool idea, but it's a convenient way to get overweight.
That is true. That is true. You got a point there.
I've got a good next topic for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we get there, tell me when you're ready.
It's like having McDonald's delivered to your house.
Let me just name some topics. Not topics, but just name some kind of news. New BlackBerry handset due in 2013 could depress current sales.
Good.
Good. The Z10 and the Q10 are doing quite well right now. Everyone seems to love them.
Yeah.
What, the Z10?
Yeah, the Z10 and the Q10. Everyone seems very happy with that phone.
I got a question. Is it easier to say Z10 or Z10?
Well, here, like on the commercials here for the BlackBerry Z10, they call it the Z10 because it's how the letters pronounced in most countries.
I caught myself actually a couple times calling it Z10, and I was like, wait a minute, it kind of rolls off the tongue. It seems a little bit easier to say Z10 than Z10.
Well, the letter's pronounced differently there, isn't it?
Yeah, Z.
Yeah, I don't know why it's pronounced different, but it is.
Yeah, because you say words like zebra and stuff. You don't say zebra, right?
Yeah. So why the pronunciation is different when it's the exact same language doesn't make any sense to me.
It's a different dialect.
I guess. Yeah. We're on the same continent, I guess.
Our continent. You're on our continent.
No, really. Okay, you own North America, eh?
Yeah, that's why we're the United States of America, man. We got this.
One part of America, and then the one way up there, and
we just grace you with our presence. That's all.
You have Alaska, and yeah, you just let us be a country.
Somebody said that to me the other day. They were like, the only reason Canada exists is because the U.S. lets it exist. I was like, you're joking right now, right? Like, are you being serious? Are you really that angry?
Yeah. It's okay for me to say because I'm already up here.
All right, let's talk about
wireless charging.
The QI. QI is the new standard for wireless charging. Anything out there anything that doesn't use QI is just a waste of time.
What's that again?
QI.
And what is that?
That's the standard. That's the wireless charging standard.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that's QI will work with any QI pad will work with any QI device to charge it.
Oh, that's cool.
LG Spectrum 2.
We want the Galaxy S3. The Galaxy S3 on Sprint right now is going for $99.
Wow.
The purple one, the new purple one.
Oh yeah.
Might have to change my phones then.
I know, it's a nice looking phone. It's a nice purple
Tried
one.
Android. I haven't tried an Android in a long time.
No.
No, last time I tried one was like I think it was a Motorola, or no, yeah, it might have been, I don't know, Optimus, LG Optimus or a Motorola Optimus.
Oh, I had one of those. I had an LG Optimus V on Virgin.
Yeah, I think that's the last time I tried one, an Android phone.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I invited Tommy, so I don't know if he's joining or not.
Droid, Bionic, Jelly Bean.
Yeah, Android's gotten a lot better though in the past few years as well.
Absolutely, it has.
Performance, especially. Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of Android than I was a few years ago. They've made
phenomenal operating system.
Yeah, definitely. It still has its quirks, but it's still pretty good. I'd recommend it to certain people.
Samsung aims to ship 500 million handsets this year.
That's a lot of handsets.
They could probably do it though.
Yeah, they probably could.
How many did they do last year?
Good question. Get up here for a minute.
Yeah, that'll. Okay. China-based panel makers. Oh, okay, that's totally different.
I'd like to play with one of those Z10s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can get my hands on one of them.
Probably could.
Okay.
I mean, I know I could.
Okay,
get
350 million mobile phone sales in 2011.
All right, so we're talking an increase of what, 50%?
Something like that, yeah.
Yep. And managed to improve that by 22%, an increase of 68 million units by the end of 2012.
How much do they? So, oh wow, so they're. All right, so it's not nearly as big of as big of a leap as people are saying it is.
Yeah.
It's got to be a 30% increase to reach 500 million.
That's not bad. I bet they do that. Especially, I mean, the Galaxy S4 is a phenomenal device hardware-wise.
Definitely.
I mean, especially the international version. We're talking 8 cores, 2 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't have that in the U.S.
It was at one point incompatible with the LTE networks here. The processor, the Xenos.
The Galaxy
that has
S4
since been
has already
changed.
taken huge pre-order numbers and is set to be one of the best-selling handsets of all time.
Great,
Yeah.
It's a great device. I wish they had done something a little different with the design, but you know, I like technology
What's the
that looks
screen
different.
size on it, you know?
4.7, I think.
4.7? Oh, wow, they're almost up there to 5.
4.9.
Oh, yeah.
Almost up there. Twitter mobile app now includes Twitter new app cards. App cards? What the heck's that?
The Z10 is actually going to be letting people get in-flight Wi-Fi on Delta Jet for free.
Oh, cool.
I think have we talked about the Facebook phone?
No, we kind of skipped over that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did skip over that.
Yeah, we want to dive in that, and that'll be the last topic, or what?
Yeah,
Let's do
sure.
it up.
Alrighty. I absolutely do not see the need for a Facebook phone. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a joke, really, to me. Like, I think it's a joke. A Facebook dedicated phone.
It is. Because...
Then we're gonna have a Twitter. Why don't we just have a social networking dedicated phone, and that's it?
Yeah, you mean a smartphone?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's build a smartphone then.
Because if it's just going to have...
It already had a Facebook dedicated phone.
Yeah, it had a button on it, that's it.
Yep. That's it.
It had a button on it. It had a couple of different built-in features into the OS that were, specialized for Facebook, and that was it. And I can't see the new one being any different. I mean, how much more? How much more can you integrate Facebook into Android?
No, the only thing I can really see is very good Facebook integration in, like for sharing and stuff like that. And you can already do that, if you have the Facebook app installed.
I just don't see I don't see the benefit. Not necessarily I don't see the need, but I don't even see the benefit.
No, neither do I really. If you already have an Android phone, then why bother?
Yeah, it's just I don't know. That's my little bit on the thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? On top of that, I think isn't Facebook's user base shrinking?
I think it is. Yeah, I think a lot of younger people are losing interest in the social network apparently.
So maybe it's a last-ditch effort.
Could be
to try to boost their numbers. I mean, is it a swan song? Is it what is this?
Yeah, it could be definitely an effort to try.
No, that event's tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow sometime.
So we're gonna find out about that tomorrow. So I'm sure we can talk about that in another video.
Okay, guys, this is the rumor right here. Okay, let me tell you. Facebook will likely announce a way for handset makers, starting with HTC, to tweak the Android operating system to make the social network a deeper part of the experience. So I don't know. Will it be a dedicated Facebook phone? Will they advertise?
No, it's gonna be an Android. They've said come see Facebook's new home on Android. If they were gonna make it a dedicated Facebook phone, they wouldn't have mentioned Android.
And they want to mention HTC.
No, well, they could have mentioned HTC because HTC is the manufacturer. But if they were trying to make Facebook take over the Android experience, they wouldn't have said Android. They would have just used Android, which they can do because it's open source, and they would have just said, come check out the new Facebook phone that we're building.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have. They would have left Android out of it completely because they wouldn't have needed that.
No.
So,
I think you're right on the last bit.
What's that?
I think you're right on that.
I think it's just gonna be a Facebook-centric phone. I think we're gonna see Android. We're gonna see a status bar right on the home screen. We're gonna see Facebook take priority. It's not gonna come with Twitter installed. It's gonna come with Facebook only installed. It's probably gonna have a Facebook
Messenger.
Yeah, Facebook Messenger is gonna be built in. Because now how they're doing that SMS people from Facebook Messenger now. That's gonna be built in.
Yeah.
You're gonna have the option to video chat with people built right into the contacts page. You're gonna be able to click the contacts page and have it be brought straight to their wall. And the biggest thing, and I think this is my favorite thing about what I'm expecting to see tomorrow, is that HTC has already done this before. But when you load your contacts up, you're gonna instantly get connected with their Facebook photos.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
In your contacts, and HTC's already done that, and I missed that from my Droid Ares. But that's what I'm expecting. That's the list of things I'm expecting to see. Anything more than that, I'll be surprised. But I think that's a reasonable.
Well, what else can they really do?
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable list to expect. I can't see anything else being added to it.
No.
We'll find out tomorrow. Do you know what time the event is? Does anyone have that invitation pulled up?
Let's see.
I wonder if it's something I'm going to see, or if I'm going to be busy in class, or what.
Oh no.
My Thursdays are crazy packed.
You guys still hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
You got? Yeah, because Google Chrome is frozen, so let's just hope this broadcast. Oh, there it goes.
You there? Hello?
Okay, hang on one second. I'm here.
Did you lose him?
I'm trying to get that invitation. I hear you guys.
And we'll just
There, Cole?
Look at my phone.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
April 4th.
Yeah, so it's tomorrow. What time did they say?
Still there?
Let's see.
Yeah, we can hear you.
10 a.m. Pacific time.
8 a.m.?
10 a.m. Pacific time.
Oh, 10 a.m. I was like, what the hell are they smoking?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 a.m. In California, so their time.
So that's 1 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already
1 p.m. So what am I doing at 1 p.m. tomorrow? 1 p.m. tomorrow, I'm going to be in my weather class, and I bring my laptop to that, so I'll be watching a live stream.
10.
I'll be watching not a live stream, but a live blog.
You there, Cole?
think he's behind. I think he's
not bad.
responding to things 2 minutes ago.
Cole, you there? This is funny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. Sorry,
This
my
is the
computer's
funniest
all...
thing ever, dude.
Cole, when you hear this, Cole,
What?
when you hear this, say the word muffin.
Hang on a minute. I gotta take care of something. Muffin.
No, keep doing it, man. This is entertainment.
So he's about 30 seconds behind us there.
Yeah, I gotta...
Muffin.
I gotta stop this program that's running in the background. It's screwing me.
This is crazy.
That's funny. We should do a whole chat like that with him behind. That's what it is when I talk to my girlfriend actually on the phone. There's like a 5-second delay.
Hey, it's kind of like that app I downloaded. The Re-Articulator.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta check that out.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
It's free for iOS.
Okay, I should start my delay. Should go away here in a second.
Are you?
I got like I got both
You there?
Task Manager open twice now.
You there, Cole?
Cole, did you notice that the Task Manager on Windows 8 seems to take longer to come up?
In this case, it does because the one's not responding.
The Task Manager isn't
What
responding?
happened?
No, it's not.
That's a problem.
Definitely.
Froze up?
Hang on. I almost got this program ended.
I'll just bring up the Task Manager and stop this non-response. Oh, jeez.
There. Okay, can you hear me now? Do I sound good now?
Yeah, you're fine.
Alright.
Yeah, you're good.
I did.
So is that it for the Tech Talk, guys?
I think that's it.
And that's it?
Yeah, I think so. I think we covered everything that's in the news, really. It's another slow news week until tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So you want to close it out, Cole? I opened it, you closed it.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. So I guess all we can really say is thanks for watching. If you're watching this after the fact, leave a comment if you watched this far in. Why don't you say muffin in the comments? How about that?
Yeah, say muffin.
Try that.
Say muffin when you hear us say muffin. That's
Okay, muffin. Follow me on Twitter at CK270. Follow these guys.
Follow
Jason
me first.
At,
No, just kidding.
actually, always follow Chris first at Chris Call Now or something like that.
Yeah, I'm at call Chris now. CALLCHRIS.
And then Jason, he's just at Jason Goyette. And check out futuretechIdeas.com, and that's about all I can really think of, unless Jason has something else to say.
Absolutely.
That's about it.
Okay.
Did you mention your Flickr there, Cole?
Oh, yeah. Hang on. Almost forgot. Check out my Flickr at flickr.com/photos/CK263.
Good photos there. I saw those pictures you posted of the geese there. They're nice. They're really good.
Yeah. Alright, you got any, Chris? You got anything to mention there?
No. I'm sort of planning out a YouTube entry. Entry to the YouTube world.
I guess that's it.
With the help of, I guess, with a little bit of help from Cole and Bryce. But we're going to see if I can enter that into that sort of arena and see how I do there. But that'll be forthcoming in the next week or two. We'll see what comes of that.
Great.
So keep an eye out for that, whoever's watching. And until next time, adios.
Alright, guys. Welcome to another FTI Live Tech Talk, episode 1. I have here Chris Call, and we also got Cole Cooper. And so let's get started, guys.
Yeah, Cole Cooper, as he said, you can follow me on Twitter at CK270, and as Cole said in the past, I'm quite self-promoter, and you can check out my Flickr, flickr.com/photos/CK263. Chris, talk to you.
I'm Chris. I'm on Twitter at CallChrisNow, and I like to do this. Mostly I'm into technology, random stuff, gaming, computers. I build and install computers and fix them. And all right, let's get going.
All right, so I believe we're going to talk about cell phones, were we not?
We want to talk about the Apple, the iPod situation, or what?
Up to you guys.
Yeah, let's start with that. We'll start with that. We'll jump into cell phones.
Alright, yeah. So, I basically think, yeah, I do believe the iPod will be killed off eventually.
Just start by explaining the question.
Okay, the question is, will Apple ever kill the iPod?
Well, sure they will. And the reason they will
I
eventually...
got my iPod right here, and it does both things. I can use it as a cell phone and as an iPod. So
Yeah, but it's not a true cell phone, is it?
it's an iPod.
Oh, wait, no, that's an actual iPhone. But the iPod itself plays music. It does everything an iPhone can do except make phone calls. It doesn't have that cellular connection.
Just have
So
that
if people have iPhones, if people have smartphones, they really don't need an iPod.
Yeah.
They carry iPhones everywhere they go anywhere. So.
There is VoIP capability though.
Yeah,
And there are a lot of
it's just an
there are a lot of
extra
people
thing
who
you
have,
carry around.
there are a lot of people who have Wi-Fi but don't have access to an actual 3G connection. I mean,
Yeah,
it's-
that is.
Yeah, and for those people it might be better, but the problem is, like I said, for people that have phones and have that connection, then it's just an extra thing they have to carry around. That's the
There's
point.
applications though that allow
I
you
think if you want to get something like that, you want to connect to the internet with and play music with, that's like an iPod. You can get an iPad.
Okay, well, how about this then? How about the whole hook them young mentality, where a lot of parents don't want people to get, don't want their kids to get cell phones until they're older, but they can get something like an iPod. It's going to hook them into that ecosystem, so when they do get to the age where they're going to get a cell phone, what they reach for is that iPhone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you really necessarily need to do that.
Well, why would you say that? What's your argument?
Well, if you're giving kids these things, it kind of goes back to my whole thing where people don't bother to write, read, or anything like that. They read in their things, they play games. You don't talk to people. They just get used to that. And for young kids, they'll probably just end up doing nothing but that. Young kid doesn't do that stuff.
So you're arguing that there's no place for an electronic device like that?
I'm not necessarily saying there's no place for it. I'm just saying it's not necessary. It's not necessary.
Well, nothing is necessary. I mean, even smartphones aren't necessary.
No, but I think for a young kid, it's even less necessary.
What, an iPod or a smartphone?
Not smartphones or iPhones. It's like an iPod or something.
Yeah.
Why can't they listen to the radio?
I mean, yeah, they can. That's always an argument, is why can't you do this? But at the same time, if you're the kind of person that would be interested in buying something like that in the first place, you don't care about what you can do. You just know what you want to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I just, kids go outside, not playing their, iPod.
Sorry?
Like when they get older, honestly, if you have a kid an iPod, a young kid, it's just gonna get beaten up there because kids not young really aren't gonna have any respect for it. So it's gonna get all beaten up.
All the more reason to give them a $200 iPod instead of a $600 iPhone.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, $200 isn't cheap either.
For a lot of people, it is.
Mm-hmm. But $200 could be spent elsewhere too, on something else.
I just think that if somebody's interested in the technology like this, they're going to get it regardless.
Yeah,
and offering them a
think
lower
eventually it's just
tier
gonna get
entry.
phased out.
What's that called?
I said eventually it's just gonna get phased out.
What, the iPod or?
The iPod.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a place for it anymore as there once was.
And why is that? Because of the
How many are they selling now?
iPad?
Smartphones, iPhones. Oh, let's take a look.
How many iPods are they selling right now?
I'm trying to look up the stats for 2012. And Apple's quarter 2 2012 iPod Touch sales. Some article from a Cult of Mac. Let's see here. Okay, so in the second quarter of 2012, they sold 7.7 million iPods, and that was apparently a 15% decline from 2011.
Okay, and I was looking at this map here.
And iPod Touch sales amounted for more than half of all iPods sold.
So we got this one here too, if you guys are interested. This is from 2008 up through 2008, which shows the trend change.
Mm-hmm.
This shows that up until 2008, I mean, they were selling like crazy. They're falling off now. Then maybe he's right.
Yeah, and smartphones were starting to take over by that point in time, because the iPhone came out in 2007, and other smartphones started to appear in 2008. Of course, the iPhone would have been like the third one or something like that, I think. Then 2009, we've seen more Android phones, and that's when smartphones really started taking over at that point in time.
I can see that. Now, do you think the tablet market's going to increase, or do you think the smartphone market's going to increase?
I think both of them will increase, really, because tablets and smartphones both have a place in today's society, it looks like. Now, if you look at the fourth quarter of 2012. Like, I'm looking at a graph here, and it shows different quarters from different years.
Go ahead and throw it up on the screen.
Yeah, because it starts at 2002 and it goes up to 2012, fourth quarter. I'll show you. Hopefully it shows up well. Okay, so you can see this, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Yep,
so iPod sales quarterly, so obviously they're real low, 2002, 2004. You can see they start going up, and like you were saying, 2008, 2009-ish, they were kind of the highest, I believe. Then it starts dropping off again.
Now you see those spikes. Are those spikes going to be major announcements, things like the iPod video?
Probably. Let's see here.
Look how they look kind of like.
Yeah, it's an interesting graph.
Or is that an annual total? I wonder.
Now it's broken up in the quarters here. You see
Quarterly.
2006, quarter 1, quarter 3, blah, blah, blah. Then 09, 10, 11.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, even on this graph here, it shows the iPad, iPhone, and iPod sales. And
Look at the iPhone. Look at that spike.
Yeah, and the iPod is the blue line. So we have all these different spikes, but all these different spikes, even those seem to get lower as years go by. But the iPhone, it has its drop-off points, but it's still going up, and then it dropped again, and it's slowly going up again. It looks like.
Yeah.
And the iPad, well, it's up and down as well.
That's interesting.
What's that top graph? What about that?
This one?
No, the one. Yeah, that one right there. Okay, yeah.
Give me the iPod sales in general.
Yeah.
And you can see the growth is slow.
Yeah, it is.
Is that like a? How much is that? Is that in dollar signs on the left?
I think those are like the amount were sold.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say, wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
It's even. I mean, it's even more than that if you think about it. Because if that's amount sold, each one costs $190.
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely.
But I think they may not kill it this year or next year or the year after that, but eventually they will.
Well, I mean, they've got the Mac Pro going still.
Yeah, they will, and I know it's been rumored that that's going to go away eventually too. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen.
No, I actually expect to see the Mac Pro get upgraded.
Yeah, so do I, and I think it'd be smart for Apple to do it. But eventually, I think, well, the iPod anyways will eventually go away.
I think it's a shame though that most people who are interested in the Mac Pro aren't the kind of person that should be interested in the Mac Pro.
Yeah, there's so many people that buy
for video people, not for people who are just going to be using it as an everyday Mac.
Yeah, and so many people, even with PCs, will buy the highest end computer, the highest end performance parts in it, and never use them.
That's why that's part of the reason I switched over to my laptop, is just because I had all this equipment I just wasn't using. Yeah.
I would just beast a computer and then use it to go to Google.
I have an HP ProBook 4430.
Yeah, those ProBooks actually are nice.
Oh yeah, it's a really nice machine. It's all aluminum body, and it's thin. Does everything I need it to do. It's good.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's got a Sandy Bridge Core i3. I've got 8 gigs of RAM in there.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Damn, yeah, you're good.
It wasn't bad either.